I made the wildest possible consultation and sought assurances that I would not be chasing shadows. These assurances were given, in some cases from the highest level of government. I consulted the president himself, and he gave the assurance himself that this time around he was serious. I was therefore convinced that the commitment to civilian rule come August 27, 1993 was firm, settled and irrevocable. I could not imagine that the purported transgressions of the judiciary could possibly today. Nigerian polls crab as democracy is put on hold. Nigerian general voice vote blocking civilian rule. I will give you copies of all this. The International Observer Group says so. NEC itself says so. They know it and they said it. In his affidavit to the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, NEC said the results were already unknown. I won. I made the wildest possible consultation and sought assurances that I would not be chasing shadows. These assurances were given, in some cases from the highest level of government. I consulted the president himself, and he gave the assurance himself that this time around he was serious. I was therefore convinced that the commitment to civilian rule come August 27, 1993 was firm, settled and irrevocable. I could not imagine that the purported transgressions of the judiciary could possibly today. Nigerian polls crab as democracy is put on hold. Nigerian general voice vote blocking civilian rule. I will give you copies of all this. The International Observer Group says so. NEC itself says so. They know it and they said it. In his affidavit to the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, NEC said the results were already unknown. I won. I made the wildest possible consultation and sought assurances that I would not be chasing shadows. I must appeal to Babangida. If he really truly loves Nigeria, he should set Nigeria free. If he becomes a civilian, as the army seems to be telling him to do now, it will make things a lot easier, because it will be one civilian against the other. A man with a loaded gun, it takes a lot of courage to confront him the way God has had to make me do in the last few days, in the last few weeks. But if he did not want a transition, why order an election?
Yes, my people, you have heard from Abiola. This is the statement which he made when he was alive after that very election. He said to Babangida, if you truly love Nigerians, you should set Nigerians free. If you truly love Nigerians, if you truly have the interests of Nigerians at heart, you should do the needful, do the right thing, set Nigerians free. You have ruled for 8 years, that you should set them free. Somebody who did all this, committed all these atrocities in this very country, came to tell you that I am the person who did all these things. After the confession, at the end of the day, if we have law in this very country called Nigeria, I don't think Babangida should be allowed to move an inch. If really law and democracy is going on in this very country called Nigeria, I don't think Babangida will be in his house. From that very point, Babangida will be visiting jail because of what? The things which he committed in this very country. The corruption, the founder of the corruption in this very country is who? This very Babangida. The 8 years which he spent as a head of state in the country, all those things, he recruited all corrupt guys. That was when what you are seeing now as Yahoo is happening. They were calling it 419. All those guys, they were all his men. If truly this man loved Nigeria, if truly Babangida has the interest of Nigerians at heart, I don't think Abiola will lose his life. I don't think Goodluck Abiola will also lose her life. I don't think the millions of people who died during that very time would ever lose their life, even up to this moment. It was as a result of that very June 12th election that you see that in our democracy, we don't have democracy in this country, and our electoral system has problem because of that very issue, of which you knew how many times he tried to come back to as a civilian president, but there was no chance for him. Ever since he took power from Buhari, that was when Nigeria had started having problem. The economy of Nigeria started collapsing. If you remember vividly, during the time when Sonokosu released his music, he said, "Which way Nigeria, which way to go?" It was a sort of this very man, because he found out that Nigeria is, in fact, has no bearing. This is exactly what we are seeing. This is a country where we praise the people who are the evil ones. Nigerians cares not about anything. They only cares about how to intimidate the innocent ones. Are you trying to tell me that if this happened to be in the Western world, that that IBB will not be in jail? Would they allow him to move an inch? No, it's impossible. Innocent people are in the prison. Those who committed nothing, those who committed any offense, most of them didn't even know why they were in jail. Most of them are now awaiting trial. But what happened to somebody who confessed with his mouth that I did this? At the end of the day, you are just looking at him. Our security men, they were all there. Everybody, they were there. EFCs, everything. Nobody confronted him. If we are saying we are fighting corruption, what kind of corruption are we fighting in the country? Look at Yaya Bello. They gave, even upon the loot he made, excess loot he made, they gave him what? They gave him security. EFC said we are looking for him for over 9 months. At the end of the day, what happened? They freed him. So tell me, what kind of government are we running in this country? What happened to Nnamdi Kanu? What did he do up to this moment? They are still holding him there. At the end of the day, they are telling me that there is the rule of law and democracy in the country. There's nothing. If Okule Holdings, after all he committed during his time, and remember that Okule Holdings was once a boy to IBB. He was one of his boys those days that he used to do his loads. But at the end of the day, he came and contested. Then after the whole election, he won that very election. But what happened? He died in jail because of what? Rule of the law. So that same process supposed to have been applied on this very man called IBB. They don't supposed to allow Babangida to leave. They should have from that very point, they will not allow him to move an inch. Don't tell me you say we are running democracy in the country. There's nothing like democracy. It is because of this very man that you see now that we don't have light in Nigeria. There's no water, pipe-borne water in Nigeria. Our education, in fact, we are receiving academic poison. Insecurity that is going on in Nigeria, I knew he's one of them. There's no hospital in our country. You can't sleep and close your eye in that very country because of the corruption which this guy made. Everybody, the whole leaders that ruled Nigeria, they were just following his footsteps. Don't tell me how will Nigeria be good. Where do you think? Who do you think that will be that will bring that full democracy in the country? It's impossible. It's impossible. Look at our electoral system. It's nothing to write them about. So are you trying to tell me that somebody will be blaming Tinubu for rigging the election? But look at the coach. Not even he's the coach. So tell me, people we are there clapping. What kind of clap are you doing? Do you really know what you people are doing? Please remember to subscribe and also comment your opinion. Let's share our ideas together.